opportunity, by the way. Ooh. Uh, so I'm very pleased to be here. I'm really excited about it. It's your group is such a great group. I run into you guys a lot in the different little trade shows that happen around the country, and then also there's a lot of customer events and stuff. And I see the technicians just doing their job and popping in while I'm at a distributor and things like that. So it's quite interesting. I do follow you guys on the Facebook and the LinkedIn posts and things like that. So that's kind of fun. So here we are talking about purifying air. As you guys probably have noticed in the recent news, there's all kinds of stuff dealing with issues with air quality, indoor air quality. So we'll go through some of these things, and I'll explain how Sanuvox has a great technology and way of dealing with all of these situations. So just a real quick agenda. A little introduction. We're going to talk about some of the things that are in the news that we see, the technology of new UV, as well as some of the other things out there in the market and how to compare them, I guess, if you will. Different applications that we specialize in, and then we'll just do a real quick overview of our models. And then I have some service technician tips that might be helpful. And we also have an update on our special offer to your group. And we've just recently changed that actually this morning or yesterday. Anyhow, this will be Deborah will update everybody, the members. And then we have, I just want to go quickly through just the navigation of the website, where to find what. So to start off with, Sanuvox is a Canadian manufacturing facility. It's just in St. Laurent, Quebec. And we've been around for this year's our 30-year anniversary. So quite a while, very involved with ASHRAE, and we're actually sponsoring, there's a session, a conference that's happening in Montreal in later September. Paul, you might have a specific name for that. I don't remember what it's called. It's an IAQ. It's about indoor air quality, I believe. Yeah. If you have a moment, if you can just say.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if you wanted to share your presentation or anything, but the conference that's going to be in Montreal, it's an ASHRAE conference. Excuse me, on indoor air quality, but indoor environment quality. So taking into account everything from ventilation, from working space, to plants and so on. So ASHRAE is really getting involved, and this year they decided to do it in Montreal. And since it's in our backyard, we decided to be the diamond sponsors, to also not only showcase our 30th anniversary, but to be part of the overall conversation.
All right, so now I'm sharing, right? Okay, everybody see my screen? Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so I did want to say we do sell our products all over the world. We have an international representative along with all across Canada and the United States as well, of course. And so we've done business all around the world for many years now. So our biggest obstacle here is dealing with pollutants that are indoors, and we make the buildings and our homes and such very tight to be energy efficient. But what that does do is it traps a lot of contaminants, be it pathogens, spores, dust, etc., inside the home. And when we do that, we are continually rebreathing the same air, etc. So it's very easy for folks that have respiratory issues and or asthma and stuff to be very affected by it, because the air is basically polluted. And there are a number of different things that we can do to help clean our indoor air, and obviously opening a window helps. But sometimes we have situations like the wildfire smoke where opening a window is not an option. I'm not sure if you've seen the news. Actually, it's the Weather Network had a story on there where it was so dark you needed headlights to see in the daytime. It was just released today. I seen it on the Weather Network. So we do look at groups like yourselves and the technicians and such as partnering up with to be able to supply and provide a good solution for improving indoor air quality. And so we don't just focus on residential. We also have systems for commercial, and we get into commercial refrigeration and such. So
Can I can I just add to what you're saying? I
yeah,
I think also as I was saying, it's such a hot summer, like that with the way the climate has changed. We can't open our windows because it's too hot. Everybody needs to have air conditioning now. Like
that's right.
our business is thriving, but air quality is becoming even more of a forefront, I think, because of that.
Absolutely, we also have an application that actually is very specifically deals with air conditioning coils, which we call it Coil Clean. But I'll speak about that in a little bit with a little visual there and such too, because that brings on a whole nother little problem with air quality. Yeah, so we had, I mentioned the Weather Network had an article about Fort McMurray with a photograph of like just how brown the sky was there, and you literally couldn't see more than 200 feet. It's just
Wow.
terrible when you get that really socked in wildfire happening and such. Now, I do want to just make mention that I live in Calgary, so home office is in Calgary. In 2018, we had a lot of wildfire smoke. And given the way the jet system moves and the wind blows and directions and things like that, we tend to get a lot of wildfire smoke in Calgary. In that particular year, it was bad for about 3 to 4 weeks, and where the street lamp actually came on at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And so uh, I have a Sanuvox unit in my house, and I'll tell you, during that several weeks that we had all that wildfire smoke, what a blessing. And so I do have a system that I have continual airflow, so it's always recirculating, and it just ramps up when there's a call for heat or cool. So in my house, it was fine. As soon as you went outside, it was like, oh my goodness, eyes start watering, you get that scratchy throat, you can taste it outside and such. So anyhow, long story short, my neighbor had popped over for a visit, and she hadn't been over for like 20 minutes, and she's like, what do you have going on in here? Like, I feel so much better. And I said, that's my Sanuvox unit. So needless to say, she ended up putting a Sanuvox unit in her house as well. Now, there is a very specific type of treatment to deal with the wildfire smoke, which I'll go through in a few minutes, because it's we do offer germicidal, destroying germs and pathogens, spores, etc., living biologicals. But we also offer another oxidation, which will destroy lingering odors and break down wildfire smoke, and not just the smell of it, but break it down, and also break down VOCs and such. So we'll talk about that in just a bit. The other thing that's in the news at every province is measles, and in this we have so many new people in Canada that often they didn't have the same regiment of vaccinations and stuff, and then we also have the anti-vaxxers as well and such. But the measles cases are just, it's unbelievable, the amount of different areas that are basically little outbreaks. Now, I maybe you as well think, well, this is going to affect the kids, but I just had a phone call from a friend that she was in an elevator and walked down the hallway with her neighbors in her condo, and she got a call this morning from the Alberta Healthcare and said, you got to go to the hospital and get tested for measles, because that person, that older person, had measles, was tested for measles. And so it's not just, and there's, I know they're recommending, you know, a second vaccination and stuff, but it's so easy to destroy with the UV treatment. It just so easily destroyed, the measles virus, the airborne pathogens. And you know, you think about it in daycares and any little facilities that have you know, a lot of kids in there, and you know, even schools and such. It would, and of course people's homes and stuff. So it's just, it is an application that we can absolutely enhance that air quality and destroy the measles virus. So we do use natural spectrums of the UV spectrums. So we're basically bringing in a little sunshine inside the ductwork. And if it's a standalone unit for a room, it'd be inside the room. So there is no radiation or anything coming off of it or anything like that. So basically, what the lamp is doing is creating a UV spectrum, and that is what we can call the kill zone, is right along the lamps. As the air passes the lamps, that's where the destruction happens. So there is many different advantages, of course, as I mentioned, a few of them about breaking down VOCs. You get a lot of new construction. People get affected by the off-gassing of the you know, be it the flooring or the cabinetry, and you know, things like that. There's a lot of people are sensitive to that and such. And then we also have, you know, just lingering odors. Sometimes you move into a different home, you can still smell the people that used to live there, you know, things like that, cat litter boxes, things, all of those things, cooking smells. It really does make a huge difference if you do the dual quartz. GX is what we call, and we'll just show you how that works. So there's 4 natural spectrums of UV. UVA being the least potent. So as it moves to the left, UVA you can think of, it's here on our Earth's surface along with UVB. So UVA and B on Earth's surface, and this is what keeps our outside clean and such. So UVA you can think about it as needing to put sunglasses on. You might get a little suntan. UVB is quite a bit stronger, and this is when you would get a sunburn. Now UVC is a lot stronger, and that is naturally in our atmosphere. And this is what we are creating with these lamps, is UVC at 254 nanometers. That's the peak efficiency for to be able to penetrate and break the RNA of viruses, DNA of bacteria, spores, fungi. And this is what gives us our germicidal treatment. And we also offer a little bit of UVV, which is a vacuum UV, and that's a molecule change. And so basically what it does is it separates the hydrogen and oxygen molecules, and they become hydroxyl radicals. And that's where we acquire that ability for odor removal and the breakdown of VOCs and the breakdown of wildfire smoke and of all of those things. And so we obviously size it and create our systems and such, develop them so that we're not in a sense creating ozone, but we are doing the separation of the molecule and creating the hydroxyl radicals. Now, typically, a couple of things about our products. Most of our products have a T6 lamp, so it's quite a large diameter. We do have a couple models with T5, but also all our lamps are made of quartz. Most of them on the market are made of soft glass. So if you took a lamp that was exactly the same size, be it made of glass, soft glass, or quartz, the quartz will emit about 15% more UV dosage. So you get a much stronger dosage, a much stronger kill. And the another difference, I guess, with our units here is we also have a coating on the inside of the lamp so it doesn't turn black and block the UV. And so those are a couple of the main differences. What you're looking at is what we call our J lamp. So you'll see some products out in the market, might have two T5 lamps. This would be one J lamp. That's a T6, a bigger lamp and such. So there's that difference as well. They have a little dotted line here put on the end with the Sanuvox label here. That's actually a very distinct weld that you can visually see, and that would make this a UV a GX lamp having UVC treatment, the germicidal treatment, destroying the germs, and then also we have a little bit of odor removal there that will take care of the lingering odors and the wildfire smoke and such. So this is like a dual purpose lamp. All of our models are sold. They are certified with and packaged with a germicidal only lamp. And so this is a change because we used to have GX lamps as our standard lamp for 27 years. And this is a mandate that came from Health Canada. So it is good to be aware that the models come with a G lamp, but we offer the GX lamp as an upsell because most people want to have both things happening there. We have our treatment situated when we're doing an induct system. The treatment is situated to be parallel with airflow, so we get a long exposure time. You often see some stick lamps go into maybe a return air, and it's positioned just horizontally in, and all you're getting for exposure time is that diameter of that lamp. Whereas our systems, be it commercial or residential, we put our induct systems where the lamp is positioned parallel, and we get that long exposure time of treatment. Also, there's different things that help enhance treatment. Aluminum is highly reflective of UV, and it bounces off and it enhances that treatment in that little kill zone area, if you will. But galvanized is about 50%. So when I'm doing a commercial application, the site data is always very different. So I will have to take an account as to whether the ducting is galvanized or is it acoustically lined, because that will change things quite dramatically. And also, the duct dimensions and the CFM, and we figure out the velocity and all that kind of stuff. But the calculation I do for you. Now, we do have some other products that have come into the marketplace, especially through the COVID era. But we have one that's called PCO. You might have heard that acronym used. What it stands for is photocatalytic oxidation. And what that is that they have the UVC lamp for their UV source, but they incorporate titanium dioxide to react with that UVC so that they can create hydroxyl radicals. And that titanium dioxide is normally presented in like a perforated metallic type of piece, or we have the second picture here that it's kind of a metallic look to it and such. And so the idea is to create hydroxyl radicals to do odor removal, but there's a byproduct with that reaction, that particular reaction of UV reacting with titanium dioxide, and what happens is they're creating aldehydes. So it's not really a great thing, especially if you have small children and pets and such. The ionization had come out as well quite strongly in the COVID times. And what ionization doesn't actually destroy or break the RNA or DNA of viruses and bacteria and stuff. What it does is it electrically charges the ions, and the idea is that they will swell, clump together, and then you'll capture it in the filter. But that electrical charge doesn't last forever. Of course, when it depletes, it it goes back to its normal state. So we're talking like 60 seconds or less. So, you know, the ability to actually capture viruses and bacteria and spores in a filter using ionization, it doesn't logically make sense. So anyhow, that's just some things that I've been, you know, told and read and all that kind of stuff. Something else that had popped up in the marketplace is LED lights. If you any technicians that are out there, I know that there's these little strip guys here that are intended to be put into like a ductless split head. It's all plastic, so it's very difficult to put into you know, a big strong UV sensor. So this one it creates UVA, which it's not really strong enough to be able to emit enough UV dosage to do anything. I have not had any feedback from, and I've asked a lot of different technicians and stuff. I haven't had any feedback. Does it actually, you know, destroy the bacteria or spores on the coils? Because I would have a hard time believing it. But anyhow, the big thing about the LED, to create UVC, you need an extremely big amount of power input. So unlike your visible light, where we need a little input power and you get a lot of visible light, when you're creating the UVC spectrums, you need a lot of input power. So as an example, I have listed down here, and our max, which is our biggest residential unit that's great for a home up to 4,000 square feet. That one is a 45 watt lamp, and equivalently with the UV, or sorry, the LED UV, you would need to have 750 of these LED lights. It would be quite cost prohibitive. Anyways, it just needs a lot of more research and development done on that side of things. There's also what's also popped up is the far UV section on the dosage is like at 222. So we are here emitting UVC at 254, and this one is at 222, which is getting it's very close to that area of the UVV, and you could uncontrollably be creating ozone that you can't control because it's such a large lamp and such. So it's they're typically mounted on a ceiling and such, but we do have ceiling mounted units, by the way, with UVC. Given the time period and such that we've been in business and all of our research and development, we have our own engineers and such. Our founder he has this doctorate of nuclear engineering and such, and it was Dr. Braze, Normand Braze, that has developed all of our technology and research and all of that kind of stuff. So there's been quite a few different applications and such that you know, it comes up, and like we went through the whole cannabis grow facility time where everybody was popping up with these grow facilities and needed to combat the powdery mildew spore and the botrytis spore. So there's all kinds of different information that we have on a database. We know every little pathogen and exactly what the dosage is that requires to actually break the RNA or DNA of, etc. So basically, what Sanuvox offers is that we will, you know, protect against the viruses, bacteria, and spores and such. We improve efficiency, and this comes with the coil clean, as in when we have when we have air conditioning, cooling coils, air conditioning coils, be it residential, a coil, or if we have like a cooling unit and then a walk-in cooler, what happens is the bacteria collects on the fins, and that bacteria actually creates and forms a bacteria biofilm, and it compromises your heat transfer. So now it's, costing a lot more money to run that equipment because it's, trying to meet the set point. And so what the UV treatment does on it is it completely destroys that bacterial biofilm and keeps the fins clean. So your equipment's going to run a lot more efficiently. It also is, it'll reduce the necessity to manually clean the coils. And, so depending what if it's commercial or residential stuff, I don't know what the going rate is across the country, but, you're looking at like $300-400 savings because you don't need to use chemicals and manually clean the coils because the UV will clean it. It'll continually clean it. It's on like 24/7. And then it is a great preventative of formicary corrosion from ever developing, because when you get these cooling coils, you get the water pooling on the fins when there's that bacteria biofilm. It's like sticky, like glue. Things just get stuck to it, and you can fairly easily get a plugged coil just for that reason. So anyways, when water starts pooling on the fins, it'll turn acidic and it'll start pitting the copper tubes, which will cause an equipment failure, and that's referred to as formicary corrosion. And then lastly, one of the great things of having a coil clean option is it totally destroys the Legionella bacteria, which is linked to dirty AC coils and such that can be deadly for a person. So there's a lot of great big pluses and bonuses for doing a system. The odors and VOCs, I already covered that off a bit here, and so we'll just kind of pop into some of the different types of applications that we may look at. We, of course, I mentioned we do in-duct systems, which would incorporate like a torpedo that will be treating the air as it passes through. We do a coil clean for air handlers, walk-in coolers, things like that on the commercial side. We also have a unit, this S100, that's just kind of in the middle at the top here. This guy can be ceiling mounted, or it can be hung on the wall. And this will do a bit smaller space, about 2,000 cubic feet, but it'll provide great treatment. We've had those. I've had some public housing putting them in the hallways to deal with killing germs, of course, but also for odors, controlling the odors that from the folks that are living in the spaces. Now, we do special applications that come with very specific types of sensors and monitors, and so we do indoor garbage rooms very well. I have a lot of multi-story towers projects that are going on in the lower mainland of BC right now, but we've done some high-end condo here in Calgary and elsewhere, of course. So garbage rooms, we would equip it with an ozone monitor that will actually it'll control the second UVV. That one's an entire lamp. We can also do smudging rooms and smoking rooms. So that's a big thing. There's a lot of smudging rooms coming up, and they're being a lot, to service the Indigenous groups and such, but they don't want the whole building to smell like it. So this might be a college or a university or a care facility or a whatever. So we do those very well. And that one also comes with a sensor, and that one would turn on that lamp when it senses the smoke. So both systems, it's very flexible for changes. So garbage room, what affects the garbage room mostly is the garbage truck taking away all the stinky garbage, and then your level goes different. In a smoking room, well, it might not be nobody in there smoking at 2:00 in the morning. So we needed something that's flexible and reacts to it and such. I do have just a little example here of this is a shopping area that my chiropractor's in it, and so this is real in Calgary, and it has so many businesses in it that I like to just talk about a few of the different things, like where would somebody want, you know, a Sanuvox unit. So in this particular diagram here, we have a gym. So we've got people working out, we've got them, you know, breathing heavy and such. So absolutely, we would want to have some sort of germicidal treatment in there to stop the spread of airborne pathogens. But we also have the locker rooms and such that, you know, people's you know, clothing from the sweat and all that jazz. It could be, you know, quite a bit of odors and things like that. So we want to keep the area, the whole building, you know, smelling fresh as well as germ free. Next door to that gym, we have a Salvation Army store that sells used clothing and articles. Again, there's a lot of odors that are associated with that too, and so that those things would be important to do kind of both. But if we move into beside that Salvation Army store, we have some medical clinics and things like that. That's germs. They you know, they don't want somebody to walk in that has measles, for example, and, you know, be in the waiting room and then in the observation room and stuff, and then find out, yeah, they have the measles. Well, then everybody else that was in there in that clinic, you know, has now been exposed. So you know, so important. The Rexall drugstore, the drugstores, the pharmacies, they often will be making some compounds and stuff. They need a very high sterilized lab. And of course, that is, again, something that we would often offer is like a clean room application. But we get into other things that you don't even realize that you know, would be affecting, like the CIBC bank. Money is very dirty because everybody touches it and stuff, and then there's odors involved with that one too. But you know, you don't think about how you know, how many people have touched that bill that you know, you might have in your hand and stuff. So there's treatment there for sure. And even things like tire shops. You go into a tire shop and the odors that just in the customer service area are just overwhelming, because they often will have tires on display there and stuff, and there's a lot of that rubber and stuff. We get you know, doggy daycares, you know, they have viruses too. They get any of the pet shelters or doggy daycares and things like that. You know, we got the parvovirus that is airborne and could pass. So all of these things are important. I'm sure they have a daycare in here as well. And then on the food side, we have some restaurants and some fast food and stuff. They all have walk-in coolers. Some of them are dealing with mold issues, and Sanuvox is a great way to end the whole mold issue in a walk-in cooler. It completely destroys the spores and prevents it from reproducing. In this particular area and stuff here, we also have under construction. One's almost completely done, and the other two are in different stages. But they're building about I think it's a 9-story apartments, 3 of them, and so they're going to have indoor garbage rooms in their underground parkade. And so, you know, these are all kinds of different types of opportunities. On the residential side, we also, again, offer our coil clean as well as on our AC coils, but also we are in duct systems. We have a couple different sizes, and we also do have room treatments as well. So I'm just, I can stop for a minute. I can't see anybody, by the way. So if you can tell me, is there any questions or anybody have any comments yet? Nope. Okay, I'll continue on then, I guess. So in our residential, we have our Sabre unit, which is a 24-volt unit. That this would be mounted just right above the A coil, and it has a 5-year warranty on the ballast, 1 year on the lamp. You get 2 lamps in the box. And so this is intended to destroy that bacterial biofilm that forms on the fins. sometimes when you some people refer to that bacteria, the smell of it, it smells like stinky socks or dirty feet or whatever. It's that odor that bacteria normally creates. On our commercial side, we have comes in all kinds of different sizes. So what I need there is feedback on the site data. I need to know how wide the coil is and how tall the coil is, and then I would run a calculation, and we would do. We might need 2 rows if it's above 45 inches tall, and however wide. Now these units come in different lengths. We can from 12 inches, 12 inches, 18, 24, 30, 40 inch, and 60 inch. So all the way up to 5 feet. And so the calculations I do submit a result sheets that shows the kill rate, and I try to get treatment at all 4 corners of that coil so that we don't miss anything on there. These are T6 lamps, and we can often tell if it's a UVC only or germicidal, or is it what we call a GX. So it'll do both, kill germs and remove odors, by the color of the ceramic tip. And that's so pink is a germicidal treatment, UVC only. Absolutely no way to ever create any ozone. And the yellow tips are the ones that will have a little tiny section of UVV to look after odors and VOCs and such like that. Now we get into our induct systems, and so our smallest little R1R is great for, I guess you could say 40,000 BTU furnace or less, 2.5 ton AC system. These are very cool because they're very low profile, so they don't. You can see on the right hand side, basically just slip it into the mounting bracket, and then it just slides right along the ductwork. So we're not worrying about very slim duct and things like that. We can accommodate for that. This unit runs off 24 volts as well, and it has, we do sell a step-up transformer if you need to plug it in to 120. This works great for like a home that's like probably 14,000 square feet or less. This is also a great unit to work with HRV systems. Sometimes they don't have might not have forced air. So it might be a situation where the HRV is the only recirculating air. So this would be a great unit for HRV systems. And also when we look at larger apartment buildings and condos where they might have like electric board heat or water heat, and their only air recirculation is through their fan coil or HRV. So this again would be perfectly suited for a 2 or 3 bedroom or 1 bedroom suite. It would work very well. I'll just comment again. It comes packaged with a G lamp, a UVC only lamp, but we do have the GX lamp that's available and can be bought as an upgrade. This is also a T5 lamp. It's quartz, but it's T5, and it has a 2-year life.
Deborah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was asking about the life of the lamps, but Joanne answered before I could ask. Because it's important, right? Like you need to know when you put this in, how difficult is it to change the lamps? Like are they easily accessible, or like is it something that you would have to get a technician to come out and or could the homeowner actually do it themselves?
Well, the homeowner probably could, because when you first install this, basically the installation, you have a mounting bracket that comes with it. And so on the right hand side here, we have this little picture here. So you have your mounting bracket, and the installer would install that mounting bracket, and then this unit would there's a little ridge, I guess, if you will. You just slip it into that ridge, and then you just flip it into the duct. It's very cool. And then we have a tightening screw to seal it with. So the mounting bracket will be there. So yes, if the homeowner wanted to, and there's a kill switch on it as well. If anybody removes that top part there, it's gonna kill the light. So that part is very simple. So they're all very easy to change. It's just a 4-pin gainer plug, so it just plugs into the lamp. So yeah, the lamps are easy to change.
One other question. So the lamps, are they harmful to people if they are exposed to the lamp?
Yeah, so you don't want to ever look at the lamp that's lit.
Okay.
If it's ignited, you'll get welder's flash. It is UVC is very strong. It's very powerful. Yeah.
Right.
So we do have kill switches or on-off switches in all our units so that it's not possible that somebody would, be exposed directly to the UVC. There's because it is quite strong and stuff. So, we don't want any technicians obviously looking at it lit and stuff. It's okay to look at the reflection. The reflection is like looking at the moon. You can stare at it all you want, but if you try to look at the sun, the same damn thing will happen. You're gonna end up with a flash. So, so that's important to know. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kill switch never fails, right?
So it's actually a little rod that goes into the component,
Right.
and so when you pull that out, that rod's missing. So yeah, it definitely goes out.
Definitely. That's good. That's good. You don't have to turn off the power just as
no, you don't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And so on the R Max, we have an on-off switch. And so highly recommend you shut it off before you would pull it out to change the lamp and stuff. So this unit is, it's been with us for quite a while. We've gone through a few different versions of it and stuff. It has an LCD display that kind of has like an animated, zapping of bugs going on. It gives us a runtime counter, so you know exactly when you should be changing your lamp. It gives you, about a month's notice of a number of hours. It also will flag a message if it's time to change the lamp due to the number of runtime hours. And this is a 3-year lamp, so 1096 hours to start. It does have a thermistor, so if you have a system that you have like a single stage furnace and you have your fan set on auto, and so you would only want this to come on when there's airflow, and so the thermistor would be utilized at that point, and then you would see a message saying standby. When it's in that mode to work off the thermistor, it would be on standby when there's no airflow. But it does come out of the box where that thermistor is not activated. And so there's many provinces and districts and areas that have mandates that you have to have air circulating all the time. And so that, like at BC, there's quite a few of the areas and stuff. So a lot of people are purchasing, getting equipment installed that has 24/7 airflow, and it just ramps up when there's a call for heat or cool. This one also has you don't see it here very well in the photo, but it also has a mounting bracket. So the first step is to take your mounting bracket, put it on the return air, and mark off your hole, cut your hole out, and then mount your mounting bracket on, and then here you go with the unit. It just slides in. And so it's once you do an install, like it probably, it'd take you, first time be like 40 minutes because, first time and all. But after that, it'd be only like 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
This one has a 3-year lamp life. I think I said that already. And it'll be longer if you have it working off the thermistor. So because it would only come on when there's a call for heat or cool. But when it's on 24/7, you've got full 3 years.
Okay. So, Joanne, just thought I'd let you know that we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay, I'll
So if
flip
there's
through this.
something that you want to throw in there, and then if anyone has any questions or comments, we can.
Will do. Okay, so we have our light commercial Quattro unit in duct for 2,000 CFM or less. We have our bio wall that comes up to anywhere from 18 inches up to the 5 feet, torpedo of 5 lamps, such on the commercial. I do the calculations. We have our little BioPure unit, which is a standalone floor model that has, it's equipped with the GX lamp. And it also has a filter kit that includes a HEPA filter. So this is intended to sit on the floor. And it has a really cool feature. If you put it on auto fan, if it senses any of the VOC in particular, it will automatically ramp up to clear the air. It's a nice little unit. I think this is one of our door prizes that we have today.
Yes.
We have our P900, which has a T6 lamp. And it's all about the UV treatment. And so it has a washable mesh metallic grill here and such. 3-year lamp life. This is running 24/7. And it can be hung in the wall, and also it could be put on the shelf or just on the floor. This is the S100. This is the 2,000 cubic feet, I guess, treatment. This one's ceiling mounted or hung on the wall. It's very quiet at high speed. It's only 40 dBA, so it's very not very intrusive at all. We do have our M8, which is kind of a modular unit that we can be standalone in a unit with wheels. A lot of colleges and stuff like to use that kind of thing. We also have it as a standalone unit to be like wall mounted, or it can sit on the floor, and you can treat the area, the space. It goes up to 479 CFM, 3-speed motor, and we have different choices, different treatments in here. So we do the core, and then we do a kit. Are you going to duct it on an existing furnace on residential? You might want to have this, very enhanced air purification treatment, but you might have only a single stage furnace. So you can utilize existing ductwork with this unit on the furnace, and it won't starve your furnace from air, so you won't have operational issues. And you can have it with a HEPA filter, with a carbon filter. You can go with all germicidal. You can go with a little bit of odor removal, or we can get the extra sensors and do the special projects of garbage room and smudging room. And so basically, you're gonna want to get a core, a kit, and then a sub kit. I'm always open to take a call and help you select any of those things. We also have the bigger version of this is our S1000, and same kind of thing. We can the more we know about the application, the better suited we can have the treatment set up for. And I can put up to 4 lamps in there. So I have some tech tips for technicians. Sometimes when you're at the distributor, you might open the box of a lamp and you might see some metallic splatter, or maybe even a little ball in there inside the lamp and on the new lamps. And and sometimes I get phone calls saying, well, I don't want that because there's something wrong with it. What that is actually mercury that you see. And when the lamp ignites, that mercury vaporizes. So it's not there's nothing wrong with the lamp. It's just you happen to see some mercury settle there. But when you ignite that lamp, that mercury vaporizes. Sometimes I've come across a couple times and stuff where a lamp flickers, or it repeatedly goes out within a few minutes. And what that is the most common reason is because there's not enough gas in the lamp to fully ignite. So therefore, you would need to replace the lamp.
Okay. Joanne, I'm very sorry, but you're going to end up being cut off if we don't stop now.
All right.
So thank you so much for everything that you've done. I wish we had more time because this is very exciting and very interesting. So for all women and HVAC members, Sanuvox is offering a, what is it, 60% discount off a first time purchase for a personal use. So you can have one of these wonderful systems in your home. And we're going to be posting this on YouTube. And we also, one of the attendees today, I've got everybody's information down, is going to be receiving a free BioPure, and we will be announcing that on social media. And that's it. So thank you, everyone. Unfortunately, it's going to end now because we only have so much time. So any questions that you have for Joanne, if you want to send them through to us, then we can forward them
Yeah,
up.
that'd be great. Yeah, you can forward them to me, or my number is 587-885-0826. And yeah, we're out there to help you guys out. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Joanne. That was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. All
Thanks,
right.
Joanne.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.